Hi everyone, it's Dawn coming to you from Decoupage Digital Designs. Today's video, I would like to show you the technique of patina. Patina is that look that you get where it looks aged, weathered, old, kind of like it's been around for years, dirty kind of look. You can do this with furniture. I've not ever done it on furniture, but it's possible to do it on that and probably other things too, but I'm going to show you today how it's done on bottles. Well, actually, I'm going to use a glass jar. I don't want to use up my bottles, but it is a glass jar, and I'm going to show you the technique on the jar. So today, the technique I'm going to show you is a technique that I researched and found on my own. There may be other people out there using this same technique to get this look. I may be doing it wrong. Could be doing it right. All I know is that it's giving me the effect and the look that I want on my bottles. So this is the technique that I'm using. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. I'm learning as I go along, and this has been the first time that I've ever, used this type of technique. And like I said, I just kind of researched it on my own, and could be right, could be wrong, but it gives me the effect I want, so I'm going to share it with you. Today I'm going to tell you the materials that you need, how to use them, where to get them, and show you how to get the effect of patina. So I've got 5 bottles here that I want to show you real quick as examples. Some have a heavy patina, some are just kind of hints of patina, the rusted patina look, and just show you how I have 5 bottles using the same technique, and you can get 5 different looks. So the first one here, this was actually the first patina that I did. The patina is the bluish green look. It's like an oxidation of a weathered type of item. So that's one. It's got a heavy patina. Then I have this one that the patina is not as heavy, but still a patina look. Also to those brown, if you will, dirty, rusty stains, we'll show you how to achieve that too. Then we have this little bottle. This is more of a rusty patina look. With it looks more like a rusted old bottle with hints of patina. And again, it's all the same technique, just doing it a little differently. Here's another one. This has heavy patina. And then my latest bottle, my little Kraken bottle. These, by the way, are 100 milliliter Jack Daniels bottles. They're really cute. But this is another look of patina, not as heavy. But as you can see, those were 5 different bottles doing the same technique and 5 different looks. So now what I'd like to do is go over the materials, and the brands that I use is what I've been using, what I like. You don't have to use the same brands. I mean, there's so many different brands out there that have the same exact stuff, but this is just the brands that I happen to use and I like. So what you're going to do is when you do patina, you have to have a dark base coat, which would be black or like a dark brown, like a burnt umber or any kind of dark brown actually. What you need is you need your prepared bottle, and I do have a video, the series of bottle art. I have a video that shows you how to prep your bottle for painting. So if you go back and find that video, you can see how you prep your bottle. But you're going to need your prepped bottle. You're going to need your base coat paint. So what I have here is the Folk Art chalk paint in black. Now, you don't have to use chalk paint. You can use chalk paint or acrylic paint, and you don't have to use Folk Art, but that's what I choose to use. You need black, or you need some type of brown. This is Folk Art think this is the burnt umber. But any dark brown will do. Sometimes I paint it black, and then when it's still wet, go over it with some dark brown just to give it a richer look. But you don't have to do that. You can either use black or brown. I think some people even use like a rust color. But the base color has to be dark. Again, you don't have to use chalk paint. You can use acrylic paint. But that's what you use for a base color. Then you need your patina color. This is folk art chalk paint in the color patina. There are many other brands out there that carry a patina color, so you can use whatever you want. These paints I have gotten from my local craft store, but you can also get them on Amazon. You're gonna, of course, need paint brushes. You're going to need some type of sealer or varnish. My bottle's a mess, sorry. This is Bluebird matte finish varnish. What you're going to do is, after it's all said and done, you're going to put some type of a varnish or sealer on your whole bottle to protect the paint, as in not just the patina technique, but any technique of painting. You should be sealing your paint at the end. You're going to need a little bit of water. You're going to need some antiquing wax. This is what we use to make the rusty brown spots. This is folk art antiquing wax. I got this at my local craft store. You can also get it off of Amazon. I also have this other product that I've been using called Rush Streaks. This I did not get at my local craft store. I had to get this off of Amazon. It's very liquidy, and so is this wax. Then you also have your antiquing wax. This is an actual wax. This is the Inca Gold brand. I like this brand. They have tons of different colors. This is the brown gold color, and this is an actual wax. You use a little bit differently than the liquid antiquing wax, and I will show you that later on in the video. Also too, if you want texture on your bottle, you're going to have to do that before you do the patina. I use this modeling paste. I use the Nick Pro. They do have modeling paste at your local craft store. Any modeling paste will do. I like this particular brand, Nick Pro, and I got this from Amazon. But if you're going to texture your bottle, what you need to do is you need to prep your bottle, which means priming it. And then you're going to need to texture, use your modeling paste to apply the texture to your bottle. And then you're going to have to let that dry probably overnight. It's probably dry in 3 or 4 hours, but I always let mine go overnight. And then once that is dry, then you would continue on with your painting technique, whichever it is that you do. So I think that's all the products that you're going to need. So what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm not using a bottle. This is a glass jar. I'm just going to use this to demonstrate. What I did was I textured some of it, and then I have a flat, smooth surface that I left on the other side so that you could see the patina on both textures. Actually, this bottle is smooth, okay, and it still works. This has a bit of texture. I happen to like the patina on the texture because the patina picks up on the texture, but it does work on smooth surfaces too. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to see that. So I did this jar with a flat end texture. So what you're going to do is you're going to prime your bottle, and then you're going to texture it if you want to, and then you're going to apply your base coat. And again, when you're doing patina, your base coat has to be dark, either dark brown or black. After you paint it, you're going to have to let this dry. Paint doesn't take long to dry, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes, but it has to be completely dry. I'm very impatient. I don't like to wait for things to dry, but you have to. If you don't let it dry, you're going to get a muddy, yucky look. So you have to let your paint dry. So you paint it the base color, whether it be brown or black, let it completely dry. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to take your patina color. Oh, I don't have my little. Oh, the other thing you're going to need too is you're going to need some either some paper towel or some soft cloths, because what you're going to do is you're going to apply the paint and then you're going to wipe it off. You can use paper towel, but I find that if your bottle's textured, when you wipe the paint off with the paper towel, it kind of picks up the paper towel fuzzy, you know, paper, whereas the cloth, something that's soft cloth, it works better. You can use either or. I prefer to use the cloth. I forgot to mention that before. Okay, so we're going to take our patina. Okay, I'm going to shake it up here. We're going to take our paintbrush, and you want your paintbrush a little bit damp. You don't want it dry, so I'm going to dip it in the water and just squeeze it out. Okay, you don't want to dry. Now you can do, there is a technique where you can do a dry brush patina, and that's just taking a completely dry brush, dipping it in the paint and wiping most of the paint off, and then brushing over. It works best on textured stuff, because the dry brushing will just pick up on the textured part. So you can do that, you know, if you want. That's to get a lighter patina look, and it's called dry brushing. But I'm going to show you this other way to do it. So you want your paintbrush to be a little damp, not dripping, not dry. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your patina, you're going to dip your, now you're going to get your piece of cloth here ready. You're going to paint on, and then you're going to take your cloth immediately and you're going to wipe it off. Okay, then you're going to do it again. You're going to go to the next section. You're going to paint it on. You're going to take your cloth. You're going to wipe it off. Now this can tend to get a little messy. I mean, you can have several pieces of cloth. It's going to get a little messy. But you see what's happening here? Okay, dip it again. Paint it on. You can paint it on heavy. Don't be afraid. And then, now, the harder you wipe, the more will come off. You know, you don't have, you control how much you want on there. Okay, so that's the textured part. Now we're going to go over to where it's smooth. Okay, and again, apply your patina color. Take your cloth and wipe off the paint. You know, you want to wipe the paint off immediately. You don't want to let it sit too much. And then we'll go to the next section, and you do it in sections. I wouldn't try to do the whole bottle at the one time, because you do have to make sure you wipe it off. You know, you don't want it to, the idea is to leave the black. You don't want to cover the black up solidly. Okay, so now what you can do is, if you want more, you go back and you add more. Now if you want to leave more of the patina, you don't wipe it off as much. Do a lighter wipe. See how it leaves more on? And what happens is the patina picks up a lot on the textured surface. Okay, but that's all you do. You just apply your paint, again, as heavy as you want. But again, you can't let it sit for too long. You gotta make sure you wipe it off. And again, the idea is not to completely cover the black. That's why you wipe it off, so that it picks up on the surface. Now, here's this flat surface. We're going to do it again. And what you could do on the flat surface is just kind of lightly wipe it off so that you get a little more on there. But you can control what you get on there just by wiping, and you just keep going back and adding more if you want it, you know, deeper, a deeper patina look. Okay, so then after you do that, now it's going to be pretty dry because we've wiped most of the paint off. Okay, so now to get these rusted brown look, what you're going to do is you're going to take, actually you can use a brown paint too. What you can do is you can, we'll use all three so you can see. So this is the antiquing wax, this is liquidy. Okay, we're gonna open this. We're going to dip our paintbrush. Okay, now get your other cloth ready. I would use a different one because you got all this wet paint on here. And again, your paint, I like this to be a little bit more runnier, so I do leave this a little wet. And I'm gonna dip it into my antiquing wax, and then wherever I want it, I'm just gonna, that, and then I'm gonna wipe it off. And, you know, be sparingly with it until you get the feel of it. And that's how you create that. You know, put a little bit here, wherever you want to put it, and wipe it off. Okay, so now that is your antiquing wax. See how it creates that, that like dirty kind of look? Okay, then you can also use the Rust Streaks. This I got from Amazon. You can't find this. I couldn't find it in my local craft store. This is pretty liquidy, okay? And I'm just gonna dip my brush in it. What you can do too, you can make like drip spots and just let it drip down. You know, just let it drip. Like sometimes I'll put a clay embellishment or something, and then I will take this and I will go like this from underneath the clay embellishment and let it drip so that it looks like, you know, it got rusted and it dripped down. You know, you make those rusty drip marks. But there's that. See, they all work the same. I'm just showing you the difference. So there's that. Then you can also take a brown paint and let's see. You can take a brown paint, put it on this, and you can squirt out some brown paint somewhere, and then you can take, you know, you don't need all this other special stuff. You just take this and you make it very watery. Probably have too much paint there, but make it very, very watery. I don't know if you can see that what I'm doing. Watery, the better. And then you're gonna take that and you're gonna do the same thing. You just wipe it where you want it and then wipe it off. It does the same exact thing. A lot of times on my bottles at the bottom, I give it a lot of the brown look at the bottom. Wipe it off. Around the neck of the bottle, it gives it that like rusty kind of dirty look. And just rub it all on with the brush. You can also, instead of rubbing it off, you can pat it. That leaves a little more. You can put it wherever you want. I don't like to make my bottles like even all the way around. I like to kind of make everything look not so perfectly even, but there you go. Now let's do it on the and like I said, you know, do a little bit at a time. I mean, I'm doing big spots, but you know, just take your time. Just you know, put a little bit here, wipe it off. Wherever you feel like you want that aged kind of look. There we go. And wipe it off. And there's how you get the patina look. Now, then after you're all done, what you can do is take your Inca Gold or some kind of your metallic wax. Now this can get a little messy because, I mean, there's no way around it. I don't wear gloves and it washes off. You take some wax. Now a little bit goes a long way. I always put some on my finger and then just kind of blot it. And then you can use this to also create aged spots. Like I said, a little goes a long way. So here, a little bit too much blue. You just kind of wipe it. There. put it on the rim of the bottle. I mean, I didn't go up that way with the patina, but and see, and that's what you do. It's just, you know, to get the look that you want, you just keep layering and layering until you feel like that it's been, you know, enough. There's no right or wrong, and it's whatever that, you know, look that you want. But that is how you get the patina look. So again, I hope this helped. I hope the video was informative. Oh, make sure now, once it's all done, then before you put your embellishments on, go ahead and varnish it or seal it, and then go ahead and put your embellishments on it. If your clay molds, whether you do it before or after, also make sure that you put some Mod Podge on your clay molds just to seal them up a little bit. But that is how you get the patina look. Take your time with it. It's very easy. Your prepped bottle, texture it if you'd like, then paint it with a base color of black or brown. Let that dry completely. Then take your patina color and start painting it on, wiping it off immediately. And again, wiping off as much as you want, as little as you want, to get the look that you want. And you can keep going back over and over and over again, and that's how you get that look. So again, I hope this video was informative. I hope it helped. I hope you can create these kind of looking bottles. I'd love to see it. If you guys try the technique, I'd love to see what you know, you do. And again, we appreciate your support. We thank you for being here. Don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. If you go over to YouTube and like and subscribe to our channel, help us grow. And make sure you check out on our main Facebook page. Go over to the albums tab and click on that, and you will find tons and tons of folders of all kinds of images that Penny has created, along with her bottle toppers. Put a bunch together, matching bottles with, or bottle images with matching toppers, and start creating some really great bottles. Also too, if you go to the main page and click on the featured tab, you can find several how-to videos on everything and anything decoupage, bottles, shells, night lights, how to order rice papers, wine stoppers. I'm trying to get out as much information as I can, and demonstrations, so that we can help the people that are new to get started. I know when I start a craft, it's like you don't know where to begin. Well, we've kind of given you a place to get it all. Get your toppers, your images, your you know, your tutorials on how to do everything. So again, thank you for watching, and just you know, stay tuned for more videos to come, and have a great day.